It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune implements a partial reshuffle in the diplomatic corps. Sonatrach strengthens global position and standing through development programs aimed at boosting the energy sector in Algeria. Friday of Death, a book by Sudanese author Al-Hafid Tarjouk, recounts the tragic events of June 24, 2022 at the Morocco-Spain border, witnessed by dozens of migrants. Welcome back, everyone, to today's news. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, carried out a partial reshuffle in the diplomatic corps in compliance with the Article 92 of the Constitution, indicated a press release issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Committee of Rwanda and African Affairs. The reshuffle concerns a number of heads of diplomatic and consular missions, including 28 ambassadors, 6 consuls general and 5 consuls. And these new appointments are part of the process of improving the diplomatic performances to ensure a better service for our National Committee abroad. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs added that these nominations will be effective as soon as the necessary organizational procedures are finalized. And the energy sector is booming in Algeria thanks to the development programs put in place. Sonatrach is one of the companies that has been able to grab a prominent place at the global level by meeting aspirations and facing the challenges. Bernard Perry reports.
Algeria has invested $50 billion in its energy sector over 5 years to boost energy security and strengthen its presence in global markets, particularly Europe, where it ranks as the third largest natural gas supplier. Last November, Sonatrach discovered 17 new wells, the majority of which are located in the southeast of the country, around Hasser Mill and Hassim Saoud, in addition to 3 other wells in the southwest region, which strengthens the company's capacities and allows it to keep its customers. Until now, we have signed 9 memorandum of understanding. We will begin negotiations during the year 2025. Algeria continues its investments in the field of hydrocarbons by injecting significant financial envelopes to preserve its production and meet local energy demand and to honor its commitments to its foreign customers. Sonatrach has allocated $33 billion over the next 5 years to strengthen its program dedicated to studies and exploration at the well level. Hasser Mill is considered one of the largest gas fields in the world, the first in Africa and the 4th in the world. Many efforts are made to preserve its production levels. Last May, Sonatrach signed a contract with an American and an Italian companies. Hasser Mill gas is one of the best in the world. It's considered one of the finest gases, along with the condensates associated with this gas. Sonatrach company has invested a volume of $5 billion in exploration operations planned for the 5 next years. Thanks to its significant investments in the fields of gas, oil, and the petrochemical industry, in addition to its significant human resources, Algeria has been able to meet the challenge in this critical sector. I worked for a certain period in Qatar and Libya, but I clearly prefer to work in my country. After securing a strong position among global oil and gas companies, Sonatrach is now shifting focus to renewable energy and green hydrogen, aiming to diversify its energy portfolio and lead in the transition to cleaner sources. Algeria has significant potential to produce and market green hydrogen and meet the needs of the global European market. A real locomotive for development in Algeria, the hydrocarbons sector makes it possible to position Algeria as the main supplier of energy products on a global scale.
Today marks the final day of the exhibition, showcasing Algerian products. This year's edition highlighted the country's industrial potential and contributed to fostering collaborations that drive the Algerian economic growth and diversification. Najh Tayari reports.
The national exhibition for the Algerian production showcased the country's diverse local products, giving visitors a chance to explore Algeria's industrial, agricultural and artisanal offerings and enterprises to make cooperations what would lead to the Algerian economy to the next level, such as this company specialized in heavy equipment spare parts production, and thanks to the collaboration with other national enterprises, it will be able to raise the integration rate up to 90%. We are meeting the national market's needs in spare parts of trucks. We are working with numerous national enterprises such as Ferrovial and Sonatrach for the integration of their products in our units. This other company, specializing in construction-focused metal fabrication, has fully localized its product line by partnering with domestic manufacturers of components that were previously imported. It's an amazing opportunity for us to encounter other national economic operators and make agreements for collaborations. In this edition, we also noticed more visits paid by foreigners. This event thus boosted Algeria's economy by promoting the national products, encouraging investment and supporting the economic diversification and growth.
International news now. Western Sahara is exploited by the Mahsen regime, and the city of Bukra, located near Laayoune, the population is sinking to poverty and used by the Mahsen occupier with the extraction of phosphate. Najh Tayari once again.
Located about 100 kilometers from the occupied Laayoune, Bukra town stands as a glaring symbol of the Moroccan oppression. The natural wealth of the area, worth billions, is being illegally seized by the Mahsen regime. Meanwhile, the local population living in misery is exploited in the extraction of the phosphates. We suffer from a lack of water, housing and means of transportation, especially school transportation, as the schools are very far from our homes. Our town is in a deplorable state of despair. We're struggling with a lack of transportation and health infrastructures. Our houses are in a dilapidated state, lacking even the most basic facilities. The Moroccan occupier has exploited the Sahara's wealth by monopolizing its valuable resources after depleting the phosphate mines and using them to blackmail the international bodies for support. Not only that, but the Sahrawi coasts, known as one of the richest fishing grounds in the world, are being anarchically exploited by the Mahsen regime and its partners. And this continues despite the Court of Justice's 2019 decision to annul the fishing agreement between Morocco and the European Union.
Sudanese author Al-Hafid Tarjouk exposes the brutality of June 24, 2022 at the Morocco-Spain border, where the ruthless actions of Moroccan forces left dozens of African migrants dead. Al-Hafid Tarjouk is a witness and he recounts it all. Rania Al-Bahri.
Friday of Death is a book by Sudanese writer Al-Hafid Tarjouk, in which he recounts the massacre of African migrants at the Morocco-Spain border, an event he personally witnessed. The book details the tragic events of June 24, 2022, when migrants seeking to cross the Mediterranean were met with violence. Once again, the Mahsen system violated human rights, sparking global outrage.
فبالنسبة للتداعيات التي تعرضنا عليها في ذلك اليوم.
Many of us have lost a part of our bodies and some have even lost their lives. Despite the harsh and often illegal measures taken that day, we never expected it. I know that the truths revealed in this book are shocking, and it took me a long time to find a publisher willing to share them. This book is also based on the report of the Moroccan Association for Human Rights, which exposed the practices of the Mahsen and revealed the bitter reality of African migrants. It contains truths with evidence and even figures on the number of deaths, missing persons and detainees of this human tragedy. This book also addresses the situation of African migrants and the reasons that push them to leave their countries and cross the Mediterranean.
الإجراءات التي نحن كمهاجرين اتخذناها في مطالبة حقوق.
As immigrants, we have initiated procedures to demand the rights of those detained and those who lost their lives on the first day of the tragedy. We reached out the Sudanese embassy in Rabat to seek a solution for the detained Sudanese citizens. Unfortunately, the embassy hasn't taken any action to secure their release. We call on the international humanitarian organizations to exert pressure on the Moroccan to release the prisoners who simply seek peace and freedom.
على داخل تلك الزنازين.
These African migrants, mostly from Chad and Sudan, faced brutal repression from the Marsan security forces, with many subjected to unlawful arrests and imprisonment. Human rights organizations continue to condemn the violations occurring in Morocco, despite the regime's efforts to cover up the truth and suppress dissent. Reality always manages to surface.
Palestine now. Zionist airstrikes since on Saturday targeted areas across Gaza, killing at least 36 people, including 24 in the north. Strikes hit Al Jalaa Street in Gaza City, a home in Jabalia and another in Khan Yunis, leaving numerous casualties. Zionist forces arrested 15 Palestinians across the occupied West Bank overnight and this morning, while new evacuation orders were issued for northern Gaza, including Beit Hanun, amid ongoing destruction and the targeting of hospitals, as for the burning of Kamal Adwan Hospital on Friday. And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.